Alright, so this video is going to be quicker um, because it's a shorter game. This one is about Jaime Jaquez Jr. and stuff. Um, so, yeah, this one was a monster. I mean, he was harder than some 14, 1500s and stuff. Once you start getting past 1300 and stuff, things get really hard and stuff. You really have to take the chess bots very seriously. Um, like it, you really have to be very careful with the variations and what threat, like the timing of threats and how you address them and stuff. And um, you have to question your reasoning more. And you know, if you're at your calculational depth and you decide to give up, then you know, uh, good luck to you because you can't. I know I'm nobody's. I know I'm not FIDE rated or USCF rated or anything or given a grandmaster title or anything to be officially qualified to teach, but I know that if you don't like learn the systems and stuff as you're playing, your chess is not going to be a good enough kind of sharp chess and stuff. Sharp chess means that you're playing the specific position and stuff in the specific game, favoring making that as your reference point versus general concepts and stuff. Because the general concepts just don't always have a meaning, but in different chess systems they have more or less of a meaning and stuff. Um, in this game we do the D4 system and stuff because of how aggressive of an opening one D4 is and stuff. You and how disruptive it is and how flexible it is. It's its own system and stuff. It changes, the priorities of different variables and areas and stuff. And so you you know, how you're pulling ideas differs and stuff in your head, and you have to prioritize some things over others. Um, so yeah, let's get into it. For a quality check, I mean, looking at the center pawns, yeah, I pretty much crushed him this whole game because the way like I don't know, I was having kind of an off kilter day, and the bot's dialogue was really getting me angry and stuff, and so I developed a deep hatred for this bot and stuff. So I decided to just be serious, commensurate to how angry I was. Of course, I had to calm down first and stuff. You know, you, being angry is very, very bad for you and stuff. You know, and you have to be very careful not to hold in that anger to where it like gives you tension and puts you up in knots. You just have to, you know, let your mind process it and stuff, and um, and understand that those feelings of anger just encourage your brain to deplete calcium and stuff. Um, and stuff. You want the benefit of your anger, if any, is that you develop more aggressive and dominating plans and stuff. Um, and yeah, so opening was fine. Middle game was fine and stuff. Stockfish detects 5 mistakes. Um, Domination was 81% stuff. Average loss score was much lower. So accuracy was also better too. So yeah, this was. I mean, this is an. There's an. I mean, I'm not sure. It's tough to kind of, you know, it's tough to immediately see the relation here and stuff. Um, so you have like these different quality factors and stuff, and across different game evaluations, they don't necessarily agree on a simple level of address. So I think what I could say here to interpret the data is that I was definitely um, crushing on more estimations than not. It's safe to say that I was that this solution definitely works. I could tell uh, that Jamie Jacquez bot did not know 1d4 at all and stuff. He was absolutely not ready for the aggressive variations of d4 queens. And he also declined the gambit too. So yeah, so no, he didn't know the system at all. Um, yeah, let's get into the moves in a more visual way. So, whoa, wow, okay. Give me just a second. Okay, I feel better after that. So, d4, knight f6. This usually makes me a little bit uncomfortable when they play at knight f6 and stuff because um, it messes up my pawn majority in the center. I played c4, which is roughly equal to knight f3. And, you know, a person has to think about this and stuff. If these are equivalent and stuff, what does that mean? You know, 0.03 centipawns. It's like what? Is that like 2 or 3 more possible checkmates? 3 more possible checkmates that can be forced. Um, you know, there's so many variations from that. It's just anyway. So here I'm just trying to develop and stuff and pressure timing between different priorities. This I basically get to do for free. G5. It's yeah and stuff. It was so obvious like that I'd be able to do this for free. Um, because you know, yeah, no, whatever he does, I'm still winning. Basically, if he played f6 and stuff, I'm still winning because his kingside pawn structure is weak, and I just press on the kingside square more and threaten them. I can use a tactical combination to clear out something in this area. You need at least one tactical combination um, when you're transitioning from the opening to the middle game and stuff. Opening and middle game are just like almost euphemistic terms and stuff. It's kind of sad that people actually believe they exist. But hey, that's people. So um, here we're just creating pressure, trying to disrupt Black's piece formation and stuff. Black doesn't know the d4 system. He gives up his queen for free. What f5. Yeah, no. There's black has no wins and stuff. The bot completely broke down here. So continuing on this idea and stuff of just being efficient. It's pretty similar to the Nelson system that you would want to use and stuff, where you're just very efficient with your opening. This comes with big compensation because I'm really messing up the king side here, which is important for making tactical combinations more potent and stuff. Here, yeah, here the game is decided and stuff. Black just doesn't have the mobility and initiative, doesn't have well defended enough squares. You have this bishop sacrifice here because it comes with compensation of drawing the king to an area where I have more attacks because black messed up. Black knew e4 and a knight f3 lines, but it didn't know chess. It's always better to know ideas than to know moves. Pins his own knight right there. Forced mating sequence begins here. Why is this a forced mating sequence? Well, look at the balance of strength between my king's defense. Just look at the balances here and stuff. the black's king side and stuff is poorly defended. There's no piece coordination. They have the knight coordinating with the bishop for what and stuff. It's completely outgunned with the rook and the queen here and the bishop and the knight causing disruption to the king. The knight is part of a mating net now, because even though it's on the rim and stuff, that comes with compensation of having mobility to the king. So there you go, sharp chess principles of sharp chess play. And then yeah, Black's idea was Black just didn't know about this. It's interfering with the bishop and stuff. Does Jaime even see? Oh, there's actually a force made in 11 with f7. Yeah, naturally, of course, because the tactical combination is already done. Tactical combinations happen here and stuff. Because, I mean, yeah, I don't develop my bishop and stuff. I wasn't supposed to. Yeah, I wasn't supposed to. The computer actually wanted me to weaken my bishop and stuff. However, the bishop is already partly developed in an area that matters, because it only has, what, like, 3 turns to threaten the king, and then Black has to address that. I'm constricting, I'm forcing Black to react to stuff. This is in the D4 system, and that's what the Jaime Jaquez bot is. Jaime Jaquez bot is weak against. Here, I mean, this is basically an alternative and stuff. This is still made in 14. Lasker said there's rarely any alternatives in chess and stuff, and this is one of those situations because you have different force mates and stuff. This is actually a great solution, because look how many force mates I created. There's actually here force mates. Everything else is totally winning for white and stuff. And then here we go. This is what we created. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is crushing and stuff. This might as well be considered a 600% accurate game. If you create at least one forced mate and stuff, it's a wrap. You solve the position and stuff. If you can consistently do that in every single chess game, regardless of the position and stuff, you have a working formula of chess. However, if you don't like that style of instruction, I already have a video of instructors and stuff, and you could enjoy chess another way. I'm not here to tell anybody what to think. I'm not. Okay, so let's see about this rook move, this rook sacrifice. Not still winning, and so Black is hopeless. It's no. Jaime Jaquez is an 1100. He's going to be thinking somewhere down here, and so where my mouse is, like where it says rook d4. Black is thinking of something here, not thinking of losing. So, yeah, there it is. Winning by overwhelming material too. Yeah, Jaime Jaquez does not know the d4 system. You have developing and aggressive attacking and efficiency and stuff, tactical combination, and closing the mating net at the same time as a tactical combination, meaning those different agendas, those different winning chess ideas that need to happen, And yeah, that's So yeah, that's how you do Jaime Jack and stuff. Let me see if I made good time here. 15 minutes. Okay, that's good for this guide. But there you go. Um, Good luck beating him and stuff. I think I've covered it pretty well.